everybody. Welcome back. Another 55 and 5 episode here. We're at 103, Cary.
104.
Well, that's what you said yesterday, but it's 103. I promise you that. It's 103 doing card 88 here on 55 and 5. A lot of numbers, but it's all going to make sense. Ian Riccaboni, Cary Silkin, AJ from Bisson Creative and Web Design. The 5-minute history lesson on each and every single card in the 121 card 1955 Parkhurst Wrestling trading card set. Today, Cary, we have a card where there's 4 men, and I've looked up what this man looks like. I'm pretty sure this man might not be on the card despite there being 4 people on it.
4 people. Huh?
There's 4 people on it, but only 1 man named. And we're going to show it here. He is a Texan standing at 6 feet 1 inches tall, and he might be on there. He might be the man in the beautiful teal pants.
Wow.
Your hint today is Pacific Coast Screwjob. And for the fans, this is Lou Plummer.
When AJ will give the nice close-up, one of these 4 is a referee.
Right, and he looks like Chris Christie. The referee.
We mentioned before that sometimes these referee outfits are very odd.
And he's in white on white. Must be after Memorial Day, but before Labor Day.
And as you can see, I'm delaying this because I don't know a damn thing about Lou Plummer. All
right. Well, I have some information. I have the safety net just in case.
Okay.
I didn't know anything about Lou Plummer either, but it's very interesting. 1931 is his first match on record, but he's likely had matches before that. He wrestled for Jack Curley in New York City. He did Madison Square Garden in the 30s. He wrestled in Camden and Philly and D.C. So he kind of had a name as a young man in the 30s. By the time this card came out in 55, he was sort of at the end of his career. He wrestled Jim Londos and Daniel Mahoney a few times for the contemporaneous version of the NWA title at the time. And he got known as kind of a marathon man. He would wrestle Lou Thez for 90 minutes. He did that in Indiana, in St. Louis, Southern Illinois, big time heel. And in 39, he goes to Pacific Coast. He goes to Oregon. And this letter I'd like to read to you is printed in the newspaper.
Okay.
To show you how serious people took wrestling at the time.
And what year is this?
1939.
Okay.
It's from a commission referee in the state of Oregon. So, let it be distinctly understood, I have no great love for Lou Plummer. I can get along fine and dandy if I never see his battered mug again, and I hate his big eye bluster. I can't stomach his dirty, underhanded mat tactics, and his constant belly aching in the ring gives me a pain in the neck. He's a great rough and tumble brawler, yes. He also knows scientific wrestling from A to Z, but you would never suspect it from watching him in action. I think he got a, quote, favorable decision the night he won the title from Sandor Szabo. You'll have to do a lot of high-powered vocalizing to sell me the idea that Mr. Plummer has ever been anything but an all-American heel. It wouldn't break my trusting heart if an opponent walloped Plummer over the noodle with a stool and spent the next 30 minutes stomping him in the face. He has it coming. I know a fellow in the Northwest Plummer put through the ringer with just such tactics. I also know a young chap in Tacoma who would give 10 years of his life for just one more chance at the Missourian. And I'd hate to stand on one foot until that beef is squared. All in all, Mr. Plummer's a marked plum ornery on my tablet and on the writing pads of a million or so other fans. Also, but I vote a hearty no to the rumor that Plummer is yellow. Regardless of my personal opinion of the man, I must admit he has more guts than any mule. No honest fan, for all of his likes or dislikes, can get around that. Plummer stood up against Szabo's punishing attack for an hour and battled through to win. He also won the nod over powerful Ivan Rasputin with no odds asked and none given. He stands ready to defend his title against any man selected by promoter Joe Malshewitz. These are hard, cold facts. You can't get away from them. So, how would you interpret that?
Well, either the promoter wrote that under the guise of being from the commission,
right,
for the fan. I mean, was this on the editorial page?
This is in the sports section.
Right.
Yeah.
So the people read this esteemed member of the commission is,
right. Is one of the commission referees, yeah.
Giving this statement to make you buy tickets.
Yeah.
To go to the next one to see Mr. Plummer get it the next time.
Yeah, and it's referring to a controversial decision where Lou Plummer won the Pacific Coast Championship, the Oregon version, from Sandor Szabo, who was a noted NWA champion at the time.
It's very cool because there was a point in time, and you know this, but where the newspapers especially in New York.
Yeah, and especially in the 30s.
They mocked.
Yeah.
They mocked wrestling openly. Like
right.
they would have, small articles in the sports section, but it would be like brawlers joke around again at another sold out Madison Square Garden.
Yeah.
They just wouldn't recognize it. But so good research, my man.
Thank you. There's a lot of screw jobs around that time. It was an era where, and in the New York Times, they were trying to sell out wrestling. They were trying to pull the curtain back quite a bit, and it led to a downturn in New York at the time. So it's interesting to see sort of that being upheld in spite of some of the rumors around this match between Szabo and Lou Plummer, where it seems like, from what I can tell, Lou Plummer was the victor based on some shenanigans.
Well, now we have 104.
Now we have 104. And you know what? You may know this guy. You may know him. You're going to know 105. We're closing out the week good. We're going to see if you know 104, though.
That's all right.
Let's do it. It's always fun to learn. So I want to thank AJ, our producer from Bisson Creative and Web Design, Conrad Thompson from Ad Free Shows for hosting the audio versions, Cary Silkin for being our guest and our historian, Captain Lou, Uncle Gunny for being here as our spiritual advisors. And we want to thank you for watching as my Poison Ivy heals. And we move on to episode 104 tomorrow night, 8 p.m., 55and5.com. Happy wrestling, everybody.